Hello friends, and welcome to Figure Study, where I just love making way too much work for myself, because today we're going to take a look at the entirety of the Giant Saber Railway Vanguard set. This is going to be a little messy. I'm going to try and go through stuff as fast as I can, and hopefully I can keep this under an hour. To start, and we'll look at these individually, but to start here we've got Dragon, Tiger, Turtle, Phoenix, and this thing. This thing being called Wild Thunder. So, let's, I guess, start at the beginning, by which I mean the first two trains in the set, so to speak. I don't really know what the order is here, but we're going to start with Phoenix and Turtle because they make, from what I understand, the first mecha in the series. So here we've got Phoenix and Turtle, and they are sort of bullet trainy, sort of not. There is some interesting stuff going on here, though. Like, clearly the center cars, especially on Phoenix, are a bit messy. But I kind of like what they're doing with the end cars. Like on Phoenix, there's some nice tampography, and then this kind of design here that almost makes it look like an angry eye, and this pointed end kind of makes it look like a bird beak, so it's kind of like a Phoenix head or something to that effect, which does actually work, though it is a little sparse on the deco in train mode at least, because you can see it's like a lot of red plastic, and then just a little bit of paint and tampography on the ends there. The center does have a lot more going on, which we'll see more when we get to the various other modes, but yeah, Phoenix train is kind of fine. It's a little bit silly, but I like it. And Turtle's train, I think, is probably the cleanest of the core trains. You just have these little bits sticking off the side here, but other than that, it's a nice blue train with a little bit of gray and a little bit of silver. And once again, kind of like we saw with Phoenix, roll this around so we don't have all those screw holes facing out. It kind of looks a little bit turtley, the front of the train here, where it's like that's clearly meant to be an eye. And the nose section is kind of more blunted. It's not as sharp as the one on Phoenix, so that makes it look kind of, I guess, turtle-ish, at least less bird-like than Phoenix does. And I do like these little swept back bits on the ends there. It's, again, some nice molding. Not a lot going on in terms of paint, but there is, I think, a little bit more here, because Phoenix just got a little bit of white and gold. This here for Turtle got like that silver, the black, the blue, a little bit of tampography in there. So, yeah, pretty simple, but also pretty cool, I think. So let's do size comparisons real quick, and I'm going to separate the trains out so that we can just do like a train car. The way that works, the connection for all of these is pretty much the same. You've got these little moving struts here that just clip over these posts in various places. So those just clip around like that and then pull out. They hold together really well. They pop out pretty easily. The only problem is now you've got these bits that are kind of flopping around. Anyway, separate this out. Separate out Phoenix's stuff. And there we go. Here is one of Turtle's and one of Phoenix's train cars with the standard deluxe squad, and you can see that one train car is about the size of a deluxe, but it's also a stick, so it's much, much thinner. So yeah, the individual train cars are not huge, but you get 3 of them per animal. Also, I just realized Samus was facing backwards, but that's fine, I'm in a hurry. So here they are with the duck tank. And that is going to do it for now for Turtle and Phoenix. Next we have Tiger and Dragon is by far the messiest out of all of them, particularly that center car. Like, there's so much going on there, and also I just realized I did this wrong, so let me fix that real quick. This is already such a mess. But yes, there are these little crane arms that come out for Dragon's train mode, and I forgot to put those, I forgot to take those out when I was transforming it back to train mode. But yeah, Dragon is definitely the most messy out of all of these, but if you ignore the giant chunk in the center, it still kind of gets the point across. These ends definitely look like trains, though they've got a little bit of this gold stuff on top. I think so far Dragon wins when it comes to the actual like amount of paint apps for the train mode, because it's got the tampography along the side and the black for the windows. And I guess technically you could count this stuff, but that's more for combiner stuff. Also, you've got stuff in the front too, like the window there and the gold for the, what I guess are headlights, I think is kind of cool, because this really is kind of reminiscent of the dragon's head. The way this kind of tapers down to make kind of like a stylized snout, and these bits, these lines going up along the back, kind of mimics some of Dragon's animal mode head design, so I think that's pretty cool. Alright, I'm just going to separate out Dragon's stuff ahead of time. Put this off to the side for now, and take a look at Tiger. And Tiger is... I was wrong about Turtle being the cleanest. Tiger is the cleanest. This is much, much smoother compared to all of the other train modes. Again, pretty simple on the deco. It's just white with this red tampografting going along, but then you do get this nice metallic blue for the eyes, and a little bit of black along the top as well. And it does look good. It's got that harsh angle. I don't know that I would necessarily say that the end of this looks particularly tiger-like, so this kind of drops the animal motif a little bit. I mean, it's still clearly eyes. It just doesn't quite capture the animal mode. All right, let's disconnect Tiger's stuff and bring these back in for some more quick size comparisons. And here is everybody with the standard deluxe squad, and as you can see, they're, again, kind of similar story in terms of overall size. But again, you get 3 train cars with these, it's not just one. And here they are with the duck tank. Alright, come here. And now here we have the last train, which is Wind Thunder. I think I actually said Wild Thunder by mistake before. But yes, Wind Thunder, and it's... The front car is actually very clean. You just have these little bits sticking off the back, but I really like this train, in particular the front car. I really, really like the stylized, kind of futuristic-looking, angled steam locomotive look. All of the line work and contours of the vehicle from like here all the way up to here are just fantastic. That cowcatcher looks brutal. And then again, you've got some nice molding details with the train wheels and such. I think there's actually a little bit more in terms of like molded detail along Wind Thunder here. But then also this nice gold and light blue deco on the side, which that works really well in this darker blue. More of the same with the coloring back there. And yeah, it's pretty much just steam locomotive and tender, but it's pretty neat. Again, I love the design of this locomotive. One thing to mention real quick, these all came with kind of extra attachments for connectors like this. Not quite like this, but like I'm pretty sure they're meant to clip in here and with the other ones so you can basically chain them all together. I just left all of those in a bag, and that bag is sitting in my parts box because I don't have an interest in linking all of these trains up, and this video is long enough as it is, so we're not going to go for that, but you can do it. I'm going to just take the tender off, put that off to the side, and put this down here. So we have got to book it. There's just so much stuff to talk about here. So here we've got Wind Thunder with the standard deluxe squad, and Wind Thunder's train is much, much bigger. Much. But this is also just the front car. And here it is with the duck tank. I want to be done, but I'm not quite done. Okay, I'm just going to grab one car from Tiger to go with Wind Thunder here, because all of the train cars for these are roughly the same size as Tiger. So we're just going to stick with this. These are going to be our 2 size comparisons because there's a little bit more I want to. Since this is part of the Giant Saber line, I figured I should bring out the Space Deleter stuff that I have. So here is Uranus Saber, and yeah, the third and final vehicle for Space Deleter is significantly larger than the one for Railway Vanguard. But I think it's interesting that they're both kind of like a really dark blue color scheme. And here they are with the second Space Deleter mecha, the was it the Earth Saber, I think? It's been a while, but here's how they measure up with those 2 vehicles, and again, the Space Deleter stuff is much, much bigger. And here they are with the trio of vehicles that make up the first mecha, and I think they're roughly the same size as the satellite that sits on top here, though I will say these have more going on, all things considered. And finally, in case you're wondering how they measure up to, I guess, more familiar Super Sentai stuff, here they are with the Titans that comprise the Titan Megazord. And that will do it. So let me get this out of here, bring this back, and let us start transforming things. So we're going to start with Wind Thunder. To transform Wind Thunder into animal mode, we're going to rip this apart. like so. This will just sit off to the side. These bits will split apart. And then in here, there are little arms or paws. Those flip out. Come on. Flip that out. And here you can see these bits. They just kind of flop around. So I'm just going to flip that up there. These will clip on to the what is now the front section. So you can see where the lower clip there, clip in there, and here it's kind of the same deal but opposite. So the post is there, clip is there. And then we take these bits, pop them apart, fold this around and it'll clip together, and then flip out another leg. Same deal here. Put that together, flip that out, I've got a leg, and these will also attach. As you can see, there's the post clip, and clip there, so just line it up, and line it up, line it up, there we go. And lastly, this little ridge here, just fold that out for a tail. And there we've got Wind Thunder in his, I think this is like a chimera or something, or possibly just a lion, I don't know. His animal mode, and this is actually kind of cool, I like this. I feel like this could work as a pet for the larger combination, but I think this is neat. You get a bit more gold in this, in particular with the legs and these bits kind of showing on the side and the tail. And of course, the head, which is painted a little bit in the eyes. Could have done more with like the teeth and the mouth, but I think, you know, it's fine for what it is. It's okay. You also get a little bit of functionality here where these gold bits on the side can come out and fold forward, and those act as guns. And these are very malleable plastic. Very, very, very bendy. But bring those down, and then these flaps here can open up and reveal missiles. So, yeah, Wind Thunder can blow some stuff up as a robot dog thing. But hey, I think it's pretty cool. I like this. Let's move him back here to do size comparisons, because oh boy, we gotta move. Here's with the standard deluxe squad, and he's definitely more bulky now because it's two train cars combined together to make one animal. Not bulky enough to do much compared to Uranus Saber though, or this guy, or these guys, or the dragon form of the Titan Megazord, and Ares with the duck tank. Alright, come here. Let's bring back Phoenix. So, to transform Phoenix, we're going to start with the, we'll start with these bits. So, this piece that has the little flappy thing, you can actually fold the wheels in. You want to fold those in on either side, split this apart, and it will kind of soft lock in an open position, and then flip out these little bits here to give you kind of wings. And then the other one also splits, but now there's this tab here that you want to flip down and around to be able to open it up. And this splits open, and then these bits here will swing around and give you more wings. And now these will clip together along here and along here. I find it's easiest to do the center first and then do the sides. But those line up really nicely to give you kind of a big pair of wings. And I like the detailing that's in here, like the darker gray and the gold, and a lot of molded detail and the feathers and stuff. It's pretty cool. And for this bit, I want to take these little gold bits here, flip them up like that, flip out what is obviously bird feet. I want to take these flaps on either side here with these kind of gold bits, open those up, and those will come down and clip in down here and down here. You can raise up Phoenix head. I'm just using this to, you can kind of keep this from flopping around too much if you use the crest of the bird to kind of settle in there, and that keeps it from moving. So do that. Take the wings and clip them on the back here. And lastly, we take this piece that we didn't even talk about. Wonder what this will be. And this folds over with the giant handle pointing down. This will peg into back here and give the Phoenix a tail. And that is the Phoenix mode altogether, and that looks pretty good, actually. But before we go into that, we still have the turtle, because the turtle is part of the same set. So to transform this, we want to unpeg this from here. Gee, what's this? Take these bits, rotate them down, split this section here, and this will come around here. And I find by flipping this in before you clip it together, that kind of keeps this nice and tucked away under the turtle. And rotate down the front legs. Again, flip that back, rotate down the front legs. This will now peg into these ports here, like so. And what good is a turtle without a shell? So we want to take these two other train cars. They will peg together, like so. And then there are these little clips down here that come out, and those will clip into the sides of the turtle body. So just want to line those up and clip them in place. And it can be a little tricky to get stuff to line up because you also want to get these wheels to settle into these little tracks on the back of the turtle. But once they're settled in, you should be good. So bring it in, clip it in, and there we have turtle. Now bringing back in Phoenix and turtle, and I actually really like this. This is the thing that I really like about this set in general, is that they're trains and they turn into animals, but the way that they transform and the animal modes that they make are shockingly well done. It's not just Tokuger where it's line up all the trains and now you've got this really flat Skittles colored Megazord that looks like it's just a bunch of Lincoln logs put together. Instead, you've got these really surprisingly cohesive looking animal modes. Yeah, the trains do suffer for the sake of the animal, robot, and combined modes, but these animal modes are really cool. I really like them. And like Phoenix gets a lot of really nice added color with more white, and the gold and red is more prominent. That looks great. Turtle, he's got these big cannons now, and some, again, like now he's got a turtle head on his back kind of, but like this just looks really cool. I really like these. Same goes for Wind Thunder. But anyway, let's get these two up here so we can do some more size comparisons. Oh boy, this is taking forever. So, Standard Deluxe Squad, they're big. Space Deleter stuff, Titan Megazord Dragon mode, it's still a heck of a lot larger. So there's all that. And the Duck Tank. Alright, we'll do a full animal mode comparison once we get everything together, but we still have so much more to go over. So we're going to move on to Dragons. And for Dragon, I am going to do this a little bit wrong. In order to transform Dragon into his Dragon mode, you want to tuck these arms away, which requires pulling these pieces off and spinning them all the way around. I'm not going to do that because it's kind of unnecessary, because you can just fold the arms down like that, and that's fine. Just going to do that for the center. I'm going to take this bit here, which is the head. This flips out and around, and that can come down. These bits on the end will split apart and clip together up here. And then the obvious dragon arms will come down, or forelegs, whatever you want to call them. And then you want to take this piece that is clearly not a foot, and this flips around, and as this flips around, you want to open it up, spin it, straighten it out again, and it'll just kind of settle into the cavity here. Now this will attach to this bit here, and this just clips together right there, like so. And for the back, similar but still kind of different, you want to flip this around, and there you've got the tail. You can extend that, split this, and clip these up here, like so. And you want to make sure this bit is up here, because these legs actually transform a little bit differently than the front. So these will swing out and down like that. So you want to swing these out and then bring them down and get them to settle into place. So that will give you the back legs. And then this bit, just like before, comes down, straightens out, spins around, and then settles up into that cavity. And then this will clip in underneath here. So there's this post here that will clip in up here. Like so. There we go. And so there we've got Dragon in this dragon mode. And this is, for as kind of ridiculous as the train mode looked, this is actually really cool. Like, yeah, he's got all this junk on him, kind of like armor or boosters or whatever, but like this works shockingly well as a dragon. And you kind of do get a little bit of that turquoisey greenish color coming through in the center there, so it does look like he's just got armor on or something. And for the head, which I did not look at with Turtle and Phoenix, I need to change that. He's got, you know, obvious dragon head, the mouth can actually open. And these bits are the things I was saying the front of the train kind of had, those white lines kind of mimic that. And yeah, it's really cool. I really like how this dragon came together. But we got to keep moving. So let's talk about this real quick. We've got Turtle's head, and that is definitely a turtle, but kind of like a turtle crossed with a horned animal, that big gold horn on the front. But I do think it's kind of cool, actually. I like that very blocky, layered, armored look that they've got going with the sculpt. And then Phoenix is a robot bird with this really nice translucent mohawk. And again, kind of, in a way, mimics the face on the ends of the train, which we can kind of see upside down here. And yeah, it looks good. Okay, tiger time. So, all right, going to start with the center mass first. So we want to split this thing apart. And this will hinge around, and then these will clip in here. Like so. And now here we've got the tiger head. This just unclips from this bit here, and this will go off to the side from now. And we want to rotate these back, I believe, so that they're facing like that. I'm going to take the front and split this part and clip it in. It's kind of an ongoing pattern for these things, but I'm going to flip that around, and this will actually flip over like this. The forelegs will come down, and you actually want to straighten out the paws. That's a thing that I missed the first time I was messing around with this, and yeah, that is kind of essential. But straighten those out. We can bring in the head, and this bit will fold down, and these little tabs on either side of the neck will go into these little clippy things just inside the that little assembly there. There we go. Then we bring this in. And this bit here will actually flip down and give us a little post that'll clip into this piece right here. So flip that together, and that gives us the front part of Tiger. And then for the back part of Tiger, I'm going to split it again, bring this around, and this I just kind of bring up so that it rests over these wheels here, so that keeps it from flopping around. Put that together, bring these down, straighten out those paws. Bring these down, straighten out those paws, and then this little bit here, it's very floppy on mine, so you don't need to do much, but just kind of, once you release it, it'll flop down, and that gives us a tail. Here, we want to take this post here, this little connector peg, this will flip up, like so, and it will clip into this hole on the other part of Tiger. So, push that together. And there we've got Tiger. This is also pretty cool. It definitely helps knowing to move those front paws. Like these bits, keeping them up, had like it kept wanting to pitch forward because the weight wasn't distributed right, but with those paws kind of down properly, it really does make a difference. And again, I really like how they did this. Like they do something so drastically different with each animal mode. With Tiger, it's like everything kind of layers on top of itself, and it kind of bunches together, so it kind of gives you a very vague, if you squint really hard, silhouette of a tiger, whereas Dragon, everything kind of lines up just directly across from itself, so it gives you more of a like classic dragon kind of vibe. And yeah, this is just a really, really cool set. I think I may actually like the animal modes better than any of the robot or combined modes, but it takes up less space on the shelf if I have the combined mode altogether. But yeah, here we've got Dragon and Tiger, and it's time for size comparisons. Oh boy. Just trucking along. here they are with the standard lock squad, with the Space Deleter stuff, with the Titan Megazord's Dragon mode, and with the Duck Tank. Alright, let's move everyone back so we can get everyone together. And here is, boy, here are all the animals together. So yeah, these are large and in the way, but let's keep going. So, get us out of here. And once again, we're going to start with Wind Thunder. So for Wind Thunder, to turn into robot mode, going to, where do we want to start? I'm going to pull these bits off. Again. Come on. There we go. Pull these back off, flip this back up, and we're going to extend this whole thing. Just pull this all out. It pulls out both here and here. And while we do that, we want to flip the head up because otherwise it won't have room to settle back down. Because this needs to push, after it rotates, it needs to push down and click into place. And if the head's not folded out, it will not do that. So do that, split what is obviously the legs. Then, this is interesting, we want to take these pieces here that were the front legs for the animal mode, flip the forelegs back in. This will clip onto the side of one leg, and then this bit, which is clearly a foot, will flip down and rotate up, and there's a little kind of bit here that will sit around this little tab post, whatever, and that gives you a complete leg. And that's a really interesting transformation. I don't know that I would necessarily call it the most successful, because it does kind of leave him with no heels, and it makes the leg really bulky. I really do wish that there was some kind of fold-out heel thing here, but I think that's kind of clever how that does work, kind of. I guess these bits kind of act as heels, so there's that. Then, want to fold these up, fold down these little posts here, and fold out these bits here to make arms, and these will peg in to the side of the torso. So fold that in, fold that out. You can fold it out more of a straight-on thing, but I prefer to give him kind of like an angled shape to his shoulders, so take it in like that. And lastly, fold out the horn. And here we've got Wind Thunder in robot mode, and this is kind of a dire-looking robot mode, I'm not gonna lie. The proportions are a bit not great. It's kind of clever what they do to try and give him arms, but his arms sit so far forward from his body. The peg is way back here. The flaps up here have some nice decorations on them, but they're just not cutting it. Like it's mostly just the proportions of the upper body. I think the lower body is fine, if a little plain, oddly enough, because there's so much going on in the shoulders here, but there's really nothing going on in the lower legs, at least comparatively. Still, I think for what it is, it works fine. It's just the proportions for the arms are a bit off. But he's a pretty cute little robot man. As for the robot mode head, that is a really nice head. I like, especially like when the horn's flipped back, it's fine, but something about having that horn flipped forward really brings the look together. And that gold, silver, and red for the eyes like really stands out with that head sculpt. Unfortunately, it doesn't turn because it's just on a panel, but I think for what it is fine, and that horn on the robot head also kind of mimics the horn you get for the beast mode head. Not a terrible, it's just the arms, but other than that, he's not actually terrible looking, and I really do like the transformation on this guy. It does some clever stuff. He also gets this huge thing for the combined mode that he can kind of hold, just kind of sets in his hand like that, and yeah. We'll look at this more when we get to the combined mode, but yeah. And well, let's put him off to the side now. We'll get all the robot modes together for one big comparison. Let's work our way backwards. So we've got Dragon and Tiger, and Dragon and Tiger come together to make Dragon Tiger. So yeah, I'm going to start with Dragon and rip Dragon apart. And we're also going to disconnect all this stuff from up here. So we want to pop this out from here. It kind of clips in this way. So pop that out, push this together, and this will stay like this. Keep off the side for now. These bits will pop off the sides here, and now we can fold those crane arms all the way in. This bit, we want to disconnect. This actually clips in down here. We want to disconnect this, and that will set up like that. And then this piece here will unpeg from here and flip around, and it'll clip back into place here. And that will give Dragon Tiger a bit of a chest deco. Now comes the complicated part. So for the legs, we want to rotate the dragon legs back. We want to have the screw holes facing to the back. So we want this facing forward. Straighten this part out, pop the head off, and then put the head off to the side. And then this bit here will fold out and rotate around and kind of settle like that, and that gives you an almost complete leg. To complete the leg, you want to take one of these pieces, and you can kind of see how it lines up based on where the clip meets up and like the little square thing. So you can see that this is the proper side. Also, you want this bit kind of facing the back, but line all that up, clip it in together, and that gives him more of a stable heel. Now this can attach to the center part of the body, and that's a semi-complete robot. This bit is a little bit more tricky, because first off, we've got to fold these legs back around, and these legs are a little bit, they don't feel great to move. Something about the joint just doesn't feel right to me. And also there's the tail, because the tail's a little bit tricky, but same rules. We want to have the screw holes facing backwards. Straighten this up, pop this off, flip this back around, and now getting the tail set is a bit tricky because you can see there's this groove here and like a little clip, and there's these bars on the inside here. There's one that's a little bit longer. That is what you want to clip the tail to, but it's really kind of difficult to get that lined up and get it to stay, but it does work. I think it's more for the combined mode that this is a problem, because this bit has to rotate down and that kind of pushes down on this, but this should be fine. And again, want to line this up, and you can see how the square section and the clip section line up. Bring all that together. There we've got another leg. Bring in this guy and attach that. And now we've got an armless robot. While we're here, we're going to rotate him around, and this bit here is like this. I'm going to rotate it around and clip this into the back here, like so. And now off to the side of him. Bring in Tiger and rip Tiger apart. So pull off the Tiger head, straighten that out, put that off to the side. Pull this off, and flip this a little bit back in. Rip these apart. And okay, now we want to rotate the tiger legs back around. I want to bring down this piece and fold out this peg. And the way you can tell what side's what is you've got kind of like a faux elbow here. So this is going to be the right side, because this is where it would technically bend if it actually had a bend. And with this, we're going to attach the tiger head, like so, to give him a fist. And the you can also kind of tell what the orientation, or what the intended orientation is for the tiger and the dragon by where the screw holes are. Again, facing back. So that is one arm. For this one, if the tail hasn't already, you just want to push that back down. Rotate the legs down, close them up, flip this straight out, bring this down, and plug the dragon head in there, and now we've got a second arm. And now for this bit, I want to have the these kind of cannon things facing forward, and can just unclip one side. We don't have to do both. Bring back in the torso, and this will clip into the side here. And then this will come around and clip in to here and here. And that gives Dragon Tiger some actual shoulders. And lastly, we just peg the arms in. And there is Dragon Tiger in his fully put together mode. I guess I can't say fully combined, but this works pretty well. I kind of think it's cool how most of Dragon's colors are towards the bottom and most of Tiger's colors are towards the top, but I also like the asymmetry of having one Dragon arm and one Tiger arm. I do think he looks cool, though it kind of sucks that the joints for these shoulders are a little bit, like there's a lot of play in the ratchets, so they kind of sag. Anyway, that is Dragon Tiger. And now Phoenix and Turtle, they actually form a combined mode that has a name. It's called Heatwave. So I'm going to take Turtle apart, remove the head, unclip the shell section, which can be a little tricky. Let's see if we can just, unpeg that to get a better angle on it. And unpeg that, but this will still swing back down. I just moved that to get it out of the way. So fold those away, fold these bits down, disconnect these cars, and then these bits here will actually rotate around. This will come out, just like so. And once again, this will fold out, this comes out and goes around, and then these will clip together and go off to the side. I wonder what those are. And now the rest of Turtle will split apart. The forelegs will flip back in. The rear legs will rotate back. Now, before we rotate the rear legs back, I want to bend the elbow. Yes, he's got elbows. And then rotate the rear leg back like that. And then fold out a fist and fold out the combiner peg. And same deal here, fold the foreleg back in, bend the elbow, rotate that back, flip out the fist, and flip out the combiner peg. And for Phoenix, I want to rip the tail off. Ouch. Straighten that out. Leave everything else as it is for now, but want to straighten out the feet and disconnect these lower legs from here. And this will swing back, and that gives us a place to plug these in. So this clips in at the top, and then these bits will clip into the butt. And that will hold this together really nice and solidly. The arms will peg into the sides where you would expect them to peg in. The turtle head clips in underneath the throat of the Phoenix head, and then you can split the turtle head apart and bring the Phoenix head down, and that gives us Heatwave, and we can give Heatwave his really rather cool looking sword. And that's Heatwave, and I think Heatwave is, well, think nothing. Heatwave is my favorite of the kind of standalone robots. I think he's got the most cohesive mode. I really like how, even though the red in the waist section, in particular like the thighs, is part of Turtle, which is primarily blue, it still works really well with the red from Phoenix, so it makes everything look much more cohesive. I also really like this chest crest. There's just something really fun about that. And that really, really deep blue translucent plastic right in there just looks fantastic. The head is fine. It's kind of a nondescript robot head with a little flare on the sides. I'm not sure if it's supposed to be forward like this, back like this. I kind of prefer to flare it out like that. I could be wrong, but that's how I've got it. I don't know, this is just a really cool looking robot, and I think the wings are really nice too. I just think this is fun. The colors are the colors on this guy are also probably my favorite. Let's bring Dragon Tiger back in real quick because we didn't put the head. But yeah, there is the head for Dragon Tiger, and it is kind of bizarre. But I like the colors that they used here with like that kind of teal, but then a little bit of gray. These like almost exhaust pipes along the back by the ears. The gold and silver for the face, but then the metallic green for the eyes is a little bit It's a little too close in tone to the turquoise that we've got for the rest of the plastic around it. And now bring in Wind Thunder, and there is the trio all together. And you can see the Dragon Tiger is actually the biggest of the three of them. But we are not done because we still have size comparisons to do. Okay, here they are with the standard Deluxe Squad, and I need to pull things back a bit more because these things are huge. But yes, here they are absolutely towering over the standard Deluxe Squad. Here they are with Uranus Saver, and yeah, Uranus Saver is much bigger. They are with, is it Space Saver or Star Saver? I'm not sure, but here they are with this guy. And with this guy, here they are with the Titan Megazord, which is actually manageable compared to everything else. And here they all are with the Duck Tank. Okay, almost there. Almost there. So we're going to put Wind Thunder off to the side, and we're going to work on Dragon Tiger and Heatwave. So Dragon Tiger off to the side for now. Heatwave, we are going to just temporarily remove the sword, rip off the arms, remove the turtle face, and we'll just get that set up again. And lastly, we're going to pull off the chest crest, which will swing down like this, and then these bits will swing down like that. And I lied, not lastly. Lastly, we will bring this up and connect that up there and rip off the wings. So now Heatwave is looking a little sparse, but it's going to go off to the side. And in comes Dragon Tiger. So we're going to rip Dragon Tiger apart, fold this back down, clip that into place, fold the head back in, flip that into place, and then on the underside here, we're going to flip out these little connector pegs. Coming back to the legs, I'm going to rip these bits off, and you can tell what side they go on based on where the angling is here, so that'll be the left side for the robot mode. So we want to rotate this down, and it goes down kind of at a 90-degree angle. Problem is, it doesn't really play nice with the tail, but we'll see how we get on. And then this bit angles out. Rip this off, bring this out, and rotate that in about 90 degrees, and there we've got another one ready to go. Now we bring back in Heatwave, and first we're going to do the legs. So we want to attach the feet things, which will just clip in place, and clip in place. You can see the clip on the underside and the little thing there. So clip that in place. And now he's got platforms. And with those platforms in place, we want to bring in these bits. And these square bits will plug in back here, and then there's a little tab on the back of the heel here that will plug in here. So I want to plug this in, and then around here, I want to angle this in and plug that in there, and that will give him one big chunky leg with a big heel. Same thing here. Just want to plug it in here, bring this in, and clip that into place. Next thing is this piece. So I want to bring this in kind of like we did with Dragon Tiger, except you want to bring it in here and folding around this way as opposed to this way. So this will clip into the side here, and then this will clip in here, and this will clip in here, this will clip in here. And now these bits will flare out. Around the back, we can take this chunk from Dragon, and this will clip in using those things that we flipped out earlier. And then we bring in Phoenix's wings, and Phoenix's wings attach up here. And then we can take the turtle head, and the turtle head will plug in right up top here. Nope, I did that wrong, actually. I'm going to disconnect this because we actually want to bring this piece in first. And these bits here will clip in up here and up here. So we want to bring that in first because it just won't quite fit with the dragon piece in place. But now that that's in there, now we can bring the dragon thing back in and clip that back in place. Now we can bring back in the arms from Turtle, and these will peg in to the bits that are part of Tiger, or were part of Dragon Tiger. So just peg in there, so that sort of broadens the chest. These pieces now, they will use these pegs to peg in here and give him shoulder pads. Then we take Dragon, and Dragon, this peg will peg into this little hole on the side of the arm. And same deal with Tiger, where this will peg in here. And before we give him the sword, we can do the face. So this bit here, the chunk in the front of what used to be Tiger, will disconnect, flip up, and this will clip in right back here. So that comes in, flips into place, and then Phoenix head can come back down. And that gives us the completed combined mode head, and it'll give him his sword. And here we have, I don't know what this is called. It's probably something very obvious like Heat Dragon Tiger or something like that, or Dragon Heatwave, Dragon Tiger Heatwave, I don't know. But this does look pretty cool. I like how kind of ridiculous this is. It does do that thing that the other Giant Saber mecha do when they're combined, in particular in the fully combined mode where you've got like obvious main robots with just stuff slapped around the outside. But I think it works pretty well here because you've got so much chest and shoulder integration with Tiger. Dragon's just kind of an afterthought, acting as heels on a backpack, but I think what you get is pretty cool, and I like the extra white and red that you get from Tiger in the chest and shoulders. And I also think this is something I thought was really cool, how the chest plate for Heatwave comes down and reshapes itself to become kind of like a loincloth. That's just a really neat transformation touch. I also think the new head is really cool. Like, obviously you're not getting any motion on that thing because it's just a brick that's settled in there, but I think it's cool how you get this little bit of revealed detail in the chest with the gold and dark black and red, and then this flips up to kind of work with this design up along the sides here that were originally flipped around and hiding behind the chest plate. And that just kind of adds some nice flair to the head design. It kind of adds and builds off of that piece in the middle. And it's a really cool looking layered faceplate kind of head sculpt that they've got going. Again, it's got the unfortunate metallic lime green eyes the Dragon Tiger's head had, but I think when it's surrounded by red and silver and gold, it works a bit better. Now, let's move this thing back a little bit so we can try and do some size comparisons. Here it is with the standard deluxe squad, and I imagine it's no surprise that it is absolutely massive next to them. Here it is with the first combined mode from the Space Deleter mecha, and yeah, it's the Space Deleter mecha are still quite a bit bigger. Here it is with Uranus Saver, and actually, even with all that stuff combined, Uranus Saver is still a little bit taller. Here it is with the Titan Megazord, no surprise, way bigger than that. Here it is with the Duck Tank, and here it is next to Wind Thunder. And yes, these all do combine. So to start, we're going to move the already quite large, but not quite as large as the Space Deleter stuff, combine mode off to the side, and we are going to start ripping Wind Thunder apart. Why did I think this was a good idea? Okay, so I'm going to rip off the arm, fold up the peg, fold in this arm, and that'll clip in there. And that goes off the side, rip that off, fold that up, off to the side. And to rip off the animal head, fold up the crest. We're going to take care of the head in a second. Fold out the feet and bring those back around to the sides like that. Rip these off, put them off to the side. And then turn this back into a train. So put the legs together, pull this back, rotate it up, flip the head down, and then smush this all together. And then want to flip this out. And actually, I'm going to pop that back out because it's actually easier to fold down this peg when this bit is slid back. So bring that down and clip that back together. And now we've got this going on. Bring the large combine mode back in, and I'm going to rotate these legs around and then rotate the dragon head around. Same thing on the tiger side. So that just brings everything forward a little bit because we need to bring it forward for this stuff. So you want the gray bits facing forward. You've got clip here, peg there, and then the other side it's a clip. And this has a peg on it, so that's how you know what side it goes on. And this will clip onto the side of the arm. Same thing here. And this is why I wanted to rotate this down, because if the tiger head and dragon head were back up, it just wouldn't have enough room. Down at the legs, you want to clip these on, and you want the foot bit facing the top. So you can also tell because you've got clips and pegs. So line those up, clip that onto the side. Same deal over here. Put that onto the side. There is a, let's take this off so you can see, there's a little hole on top of this shoulder pad. I want to plug the cannon, yes it's cannon now, in there. And we'll just plug this back in. And lastly, the animal head will peg into the chest. And open the mouth. And at long last, here we've got whatever this is called. And this thing is a bit of a mess. It's not any taller than it was before, unless you just count the cannon just kind of sticking up there. But man, that cannon, it does not like playing nice with everything else going on here. I do like some of the elements that Wind Thunder add to this, with the bulking out of the legs on the sides and bulking out of the shoulders, but it just seems like overkill, especially with this big heavy thing that doesn't want to sit right on top here. I don't know why it's just not supported. So I end up having to do some fan moding to take care of this. In particular, for the shoulder, all I do is angle the peg back one click, and that actually gets it to sit up much better. It's angled up slightly, but then this bit is actually like, it's angled down slightly, so this kind of makes it look more level, so the bit that's actually like a cannon bit kind of looks like it's pointing forward. I don't like how that was handled. I wish there was another way to deal with that. But here we've got whatever this gigantic thing is called, and it is an absolute mess, but I do love it. Now, with all of this stuff added on, you really can't see the wings in the back, which is a shame. And you still have these really small arms kind of in the front here, and it does kind of bulk it out on the sides, but like really those are the arms. So it's just a robot with more and more crap slapped on it, which is fine. That's kind of how Super Sentai style stuff goes, but it's a lot. More than anything though, I think my favorite contribution from Wind Thunder is the animal head for the chest. I just like that detail more than the kind of plain divot that we get otherwise. And I do like that it bulks out the legs a little bit, but like the stuff on the shoulders, the cannon, I could leave that. Now, even though there's no real change in height, I'm still gonna try to do size comparisons. Here is this monstrosity with the standard deluxe squad, with the Titan Megazord, with the shelf-devouring beast that is Cosmos Saber. Like, that is just ridiculous. I will say, as ridiculous as Cosmos Saber is, and as disappointing as the lack of deco is in the lower body, there's better integration with Uranus Saber here, in particular because other bits, like Uranus Saber, I guess you really just get a backpack, shoulders, and a stick, but like, it allows you to attach that satellite to the chest and gets you an entirely new chest plate, a new head, and yeah, this final combination for Railway Vanguard just doesn't quite cut it in that regard. And here everything is with the duck tank. We're not quite done, I'm sorry. Let me bring this back over. As we still have this thing, this giant spear thing that is relatively decently detailed, especially around here. You've got the multiple colors, which I guess are meant to represent something, though I don't know where the pink comes from. I think the trident on the end is really nice and ornate. Kind of has this feathery look, which calls back to Phoenix, because I'm assuming because Phoenix is the red one, that's probably the leader. I don't know. I'm just talking out of my butt. But it's a pretty nice looking trident that is entirely too huge and is almost impossible to use in any other mode. And Wind Thunder can barely hold it because it's like this giant handle. You can unscrew it, but then it's just kind of this weird thing. And yeah, let's leave that attached. Anyway, this will slot into the hand, put that in like so, and now there we've got the fully combined mode with all the weapons, and it looks ridiculous and regal and absurd, and it's a mess, and it's heavy, and that's just so much stuff. Yeah, my only real disappointment with this is the cannon on the shoulder. If that could just do something else, because I don't like how it weighs down the shoulder, and it's just so awkward to try and do the way you're supposed to do it. I just don't like how they handled that. I will say though, for anyone who's concerned about the weight of all of this and things possibly crumbling under that weight, I think it's actually surprisingly solid. The only real danger of things collapsing due to the weight are from that cannon on that shoulder, but the shoulder clips in pretty solidly, and even if it sags onto all of this, so that kind of distributes the weight. So it catches it, and you don't really have to worry about it too much. It would really be nice, though, if there was a better way to kind of brace the shoulders, but I haven't been able to find a way to do that. But that is going to do it at long last. This recording did not take less than an hour, but hopefully the final video will be less than an hour. I don't know. I'm sorry. I tried to go as fast as I could. But that has been my look at the Giant Saber Railway Vanguard set, and this set is incredible, and I've been wanting it for so long, like for the past year and a half, 2 years almost. I forget exactly when these first started popping up, but I wanted to get them almost immediately, and it took forever because space and money and not wanting to order through certain websites, but having no choice. But now I've got it, and I am exceedingly happy that I have it, because this is a very cool set. But that's enough about my rambling, because oh boy, I need a drink. My throat is killing me. What do you all think of the Railway Vanguard set? Whatever your thoughts, feel free to chime in down below. I always enjoy hearing from you all. If you appreciate this video and want to support the channel beyond watching the video, there is a Patreon which I've got set up. There's a link in the description. There will also be one at the end of the video. There's only one tier, it's $1. It supports the channel and gets you early access to new videos, as well as access to the occasional behind-the-scenes posts that I make. And eventually I'm going to start doing polls, so if you want to have any kind of say in channel stuff, that's an option. But with all that out of the way, thank you everybody for watching. I am tired. So tired. And yet, art is still more than meets the eye.